Oh, that means we need to shout out the social media. Was that the cue? Let's see, you guys. Make sure to follow us on all social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and it's at Talk Black Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, click the link below. Make sure you tell us what you're thinking about whatever we're talking about, and also give us any ideas or subjects that you want to see covered.
Yes, absolutely. We're here to talk about anything.
Yes. No, my voice is going out.
So how are they going to force us to take it? Are there, healthcare workers, are they going to be told if you don't take it, you can't, you can't work in your hospitals or your nursing centers? And so then that opens up a whole nother can of worms with a shortage. We already have a shortage of medical workers. There are those medical workers that by religious beliefs alone, they don't believe in taking a vaccine.
Oh, absolutely.
So how are we going to cover that spectrum of the majority of the people that are going to deny the vaccine are going to be denied jobs and
not even just healthcare.
Not right.
So I'm looking, I'm trying to look right now to see if there's anything super specific. Most of it's just, the basic industries, but then also like airlines.
Right. And so then, I did read something about that where you have to prove that you've had the vaccine before you can get on an airplane.
Yeah, they're looking at that. And then they're also looking toward, for employers, if it's a decision on their behalf to make it mandatory for whatever type of business it is. But in that case, it's like.
So you're on the fence. You have a job. You can't go back to that job unless you have the vaccine, but you don't believe in the vaccine, so you don't want to take the vaccine, but you have a family to take care of. What it's going to be an all-out war.
Yes.
Against this. And
that's what it's leading to.
The future is very scary with this.
Especially if it's statewide, because right here it's saying, and this is from, hub.jhu.edu. So official. It's saying, see, EDU, and I'm like, all right, this has got some real information, but it's saying that states, when the vaccines are made available, states will have the power, the legal and constitutional authority to require that the people who live in that state be vaccinated or to introduce a vaccine mandate.
Well, they try to make children take vaccines. There are still parents out there that
like me in my case, I waited,
but then now this, and it's gonna. So I don't get it. You work with people that bring the flu into work every day, and again, I know it sounds like I'm stuck on the flu, but flu. Let me look up the statistics. How many people die every year from the flu? Just to drive my point home.
And while you're doing that, it's funny that you say the immunization of the children.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying it will be also something like that. We'll have to have proof of it to go to school, go to work, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. So it's just like that. You have to have the proof, have it signed off. I don't know.
So here we go. Preliminary CDC estimates for the 2019-2020 influenza season indicate that as of April 4th, 2020, between 24,000 and 62,000 people lost their lives to the flu. That's just 2019 to 2020. So we still have we have a flu shot. We're not being told at our jobs, if you don't take the flu shot, you can't come to work. So where is the fine line between the flu and COVID?
That's the scary part. That's what I'm thinking about in my mind. What's going to happen? Because we kind of talked about the irrationality of people when they feel like something big is going on and they have no control over it.
Mm-hmm.
what's going to happen when not only are things shutting down, I'm getting almost, forced to get vaccinated. I don't want to. Now I don't have a job. Now I can't pay my rent. Now I got to figure out how to provide. Now you're going into survival mode. It's very.
Which is why anxiety is so high right now. And I think we touched on that in the last show.
Mental
health and the anxiety surrounding COVID, because that's all you hear now is COVID, COVID, COVID. You don't hear anything about the flu, which is still running rampant. If you don't have COVID and you're running fever and you have a cough and everything, 9 times out of 10, you have the flu, but nobody's talking about the flu. It's just weighing heavy on us. I, again, stress everyone do their own research, try to find the most natural resources you can to not only protect yourself, but God forbid, if you do come in contact with COVID, how to lessen the length of time that you're dealing with it, how to make your symptoms not as severe as some people. Dr. Oz said, if to protect yourself, we should be taking 10 milligrams of zinc a day with our vitamin D and our magnesium. If we do come in contact with it and we do get diagnosed with positive results, we should, I think it's 80,000 milligrams a day or some outrageous amount of zinc that we should bump it up to just to get through it. So it's and
it seems so simple, but it really is that simple. Keep your immune system on point.
Yes, I thought I did and let's face facts. Social media, places like TikTok and,
they always have the good information.
And the videos for the people who got the vaccine and they turn into a zombie, people are making jokes about it. But at the same time, you can hide behind those jokes because that fear is real. What are they really putting in our bodies?
And your genes can be mutated by vaccines. So it is a real thing.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's why this zombie apocalypse, it sounds crazy, but it's not far-fetched.
It's not far-fetched.
But even with just like the vitamins and things like that, I'm glad you made that point, because I was thinking that on the lines of the mental health, start going now so that when things get bad, you're not just caught in, this whirlwind or this dark space or this whatever, because therapy, even if you're not going through anything, it prepares you for when it does. So
it kind of makes me wish Dick Gregory was still alive, because he did get through to a lot of people about how to heal yourself holistically. And let's face facts, a lot of Black people listen to him, and I would love to know what he would be saying today if he was here.
And Dr. Sebi.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I still try to follow his diet, even if I'm not strict on it, because your body, if it's alkaline, it can fight everything off naturally and quicker.
And that information's not getting out there like it should.
True.
It's not. Because it's a vicious cycle. Anxiety, if you don't know how to deal with your anxiety by avenues of meditation and going for walks and channeling your frustrations in healthy ways, let's face facts. Today, most people with their anxiety and the stress turn towards unhealthy foods and unhealthy lifestyles. Alcohol, we know that when they shut this city down at the beginning of the year, Specs and Total Wine were sold out of everything. So
I was gonna say, they were marked essential.
Oh yeah, that was essential.
And a lot of times they were essential.
It was very essential. I'm here to say, red wine can be healthy,
but in the right amount,
in moderation. But
exactly.
we do need, and I do hope with this show we can talk more about our health and the steps that we need to take to make it better. Idea. And there's more, I can take it down to another level. Yes, healthy food is expensive, but there's more and more community gardens being created and more avenues to get healthy food to people who can't get healthy food and try to heal ourselves. And we're going to need that now more than ever, because we're still going to stand by the fact that we're not going to do this. We're not going to take this vaccine.
Yeah, I'm not. So we got to find other ways. And that's the way. You heal from the inside out.
Heal from the inside out.
So if you're doing okay, so I just looked up Dr. Sebi, and I wanted to get to the quote, but it's an actual doctor that's saying that his alkaline diet, and what he was saying about the alkaline diet assisting with what is it? The viruses. The virus. I kept wanting to say vaccine, and I'm like, no, not the vaccine. With the virus. Mm-hmm. And he's saying the virus cannot live in an alkaline body. So, that's a good idea to try to lean towards that. And when I say alkaline body, it basically just means, they do have I wonder if we can pull up a thing, but it's, nothing acidic, only alkaline. So what's alkaline? It's like from 5 to, or is it from 4 to 8?
4 to 7 or
4 to 7,
or
something like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So foods and liquids that are in that range, they'll keep your body alkaline. Anything other than that is going to invite whatever causes disease or virus. So it's good stuff to know.
It's research that can be done. It's there. It's out there for you if you want to read it and learn more about it.
Yes, because we've been scaring everybody with this.
I'm not trying to scare anybody, but
this is the alternative. It's like, you got to know. It's like, well, if I'm not taking the vaccine, what do I do?
But we share the concerns with the Black community. I'm not doing it, but I'm against the flu shot. I remember I finally got talked into taking the flu shot one year at work, and I was down with the flu for 2 solid weeks. I missed 2 weeks of work. I was so ill.
Yep.
And I'm pretty much sure that the flu vaccine that my father finally took threw him into all the health problems he's having. And I do want to find the article where it states that Black Americans should never take the flu vaccine. So,
I believe.
With that being said, another level of fear comes from just that alone. If we don't react well to the flu vaccine, why do they think we're going to react well to the COVID vaccine or any other vaccine? Right. So there's, like I said, I'm not trying to create widespread panic. No. I want to read more on it. I want to encourage everyone to study on their own and read more about it and make the best decisions for you going forward.
Absolutely.
If you feel like the best decision for you and your family is to take the vaccine, then by all means. But if you're like me,
then you start growing hair on your neck. Stay over there.
Stay away from the vaccine. I feel so. And then, we both talked about how we've both had COVID. Mm-hmm. So here I am thinking, now I'm invincible.
And even that's that's not a fact.
So then I was told, well, not really. It's only going to be 4 or 5 months. And then you're subject, you're vulnerable enough to get it again.
Oh, and okay.
I was like, oh, terrific. I didn't know that. I thought that once I had it, I would never get it again.
A lot of people thought that. Mm-hmm. But
it's like the flu. Mm-hmm. Even though you've had it, you can get it again. Even though you've had the flu shot, you can get it again, because there's how many different strains of the flu virus. And my doctor told me that COVID is starting to manifest itself into different levels, just like the flu. So where some people have a fever and a cough and everything, other people, like me, I had my symptoms were less severe. Yeah. I never had a fever. So now it's creating its own, just like there's many different forms of the flu. Mm-hmm. I believe there's going to be many different forms of COVID. Yes.
Yeah.
Not trying to scare anyone.
Well, my mind goes to like, if it's like that, it's like as much as I want to say, oh my gosh, this is a conspiracy theory that they're going to try to make us take this vaccine. But then again, I don't know. It's like, is that the only way to get control of it? If we don't, I don't know.
I know. We don't know. We don't know. Only the future will tell us.
Yeah. Ay, ay,
ay. Well, you brought up the experiments that were done in Tuskegee.
I literally was just going to go back to
let's just talk about that.
Yeah.
And, in syphilis, it's still amongst us. So what was the whole purpose of that experiment? I understood that they monitored how it affects, the body and the mind and going forth. But what was the point? If you didn't eradicate it with all of that, then what was the point? And I guess that's people's thoughts going forward. What's the whole point of shoving a vaccine down our throat that's not going to eradicate it?
Right.
That's the train of thought.
Right.
I could be way off. That's my train of thought.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it's just it. I mean, it seems too new.
It's too new. Mm-hmm.
So we don't really have any alternative ways. But it's like, ay, ay. Well, yeah, and that was the thing too. This was missing information. I'm looking at the Tuskegee to see what the actual point was. Just missing information.
Just a lot of families affected and a lot of people hurt for no reason. Sick doctors.
Yeah.
Using, humans. I could talk about that all day.
I was like, whoa. I paused because I was like, who would do it? It's just, you can't even fathom it. Like,
so then you can take this as another learning lesson to never forget your history and keep it fresh constantly on your minds, because history teaches us every day how to handle situations. And not only should we study how to heal ourselves naturally, keep studying your history. Don't ever forget.
Yeah. Study your history. I said, just make your own judgment at the end of the day. Make your own judgment.
Yes, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here how to tell you, but I do share everyone's concerns with the vaccine and what is it really going to do to us and for us. Right. And only time will tell.
Absolutely. And when you make your decision, stand by it.
Stand by it. Absolutely.
Don't be pressured, because no regret. So just stand by your decision, go with it at whatever cost it may be. But, it's just,
I know.
We have no answers. We just
no
have
answers.
We just have slight information. And as the information comes, it just gets crazier and crazier.
But do you see how it just leaves us so fresh? We're frustrated. We don't even know how to talk about it because it's so new and it's so scary and it's so unsettling that we're sitting here talking about it, but we don't even know how to talk about it because
that's why I keep getting tongue tied, because it's like, since when does our state tell us, when?
Let's face facts. Being told to stay home and not go outside of your house, that was
already
it was mind blowing. So now, don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Don't.
Yeah, these things, they're so out of the ordinary and so bizarre. And they, when have they been done? Anytime in history? Ever?
No.
That's
something we can look into.
We should look into that, because that's why it's so, you just have to think about it. Like, ay, ay, ay.
It's a ay, ay, ay.
And then you think about the states have the mandatory, and you got to walk around with your papers everywhere.
And
the concept.
I'm not going to lie and sit here and I am worried about Christmas. Looking forward to my family coming to visit me. But what happens if they tell people within the next week, we're shutting it down and you're not going to have Christmas?
Yeah.
I highly anticipate that America will be like, I don't care what you said, I'm celebrating Christmas. You done took Thanksgiving away. I'm done. So we walk miles of fine lines daily surrounding.
And I don't see the airlines or them shutting the airlines down to prevent travel.
No,
but so people are going to take them.
People are taking their chances. Family is more important right now. Being together on the holidays is more important than the risks associated with it. And that's why they were saying, someone quoted, the vaccine has created a disorienting mix of long-term hope and amid increasing short-term danger. Meaning, again, we're getting comfortable. There's a vaccine. We're going to be fine next year going forward. But if we don't take the precautions today, what's next Thanksgiving and next Christmas going to look like? The people that are around us, are they going to be here because we didn't take the precautions that we needed to take?
Even with the vaccine.
I'm sorry, I read the wrong quote. Your actions today are going to protect Christmas next year. That's what they said.
Right.
And that's very true. If we stayed at home and wore a mask and did everything we're supposed to, maybe we would all be here next year. But let's face facts. We want to be together for the holidays. Now we have this vaccine that is giving that false sense of healing.
Yeah.
And
so you're less precautious.
So what is next year going to look like? Vaccine or no vaccine, what is next year going to look like?
We have no idea. And then it's kind of yes, it is a family thing. We want to be around our family. Well, we do want to stay home. We do want to protect ourselves, but we do want to be with family. Something could happen to them anytime. So there's people taking risks. And it's just like this whole confusing.
Are the risks worth it?
Yeah.
Yes, I think they are. No.
To go see.
To be with my family.
Grandma. I understand.
I laugh when I say that, and it's not a laughing matter. I am worried about my family coming to visit me. I'm glad they're coming, but it does scare me at the same time. Not because I feel like they're going to bring anything into my home, but because they're elderly, and we kind of, they think they know how this is spread, but they don't really have a handle on it. I know I've heard stories minute, but our elderly have that in their heads. They hear COVID and they think death. They don't think anything else but you've got COVID, you're about to be in the hospital, I'm not going to be able to get to you, and you're going to die in the hospital.
Yeah, alone.
Yeah. And that is our elderly's mentality right now, and that scared me for them because that's scary.
Yeah,
they were so concerned, and I love that they were that concerned. But
yeah, my parents, they don't leave the house either. They're very strict on it. Some people are like that, but they will not leave.
No.
So order everything in.
I've heard of some people, one spouse stays on the second floor, one spouse stays on the first floor, and
did they both have COVID at one?
No, they're just that paranoid. There are families out there that are that paranoid. Don't leave the house. You stay upstairs. I'd say, don't bring anyone in. The dog can only go in the backyard. Don't go for a walk. There is that whole, that's on a whole nother, there's just that all-consuming fear, and it comes in many, many different forms, and it's...
Yeah. Or if you have like a condition or you're going back and forth from work, I can see that staying in separate sides. I see that. My husband would be like, nah.
No.
Nope, we're both getting it then. Oh, man, yeah. Sounds extreme, but it's people like that help stop the spread.
Yes.
So you can't even knock on it.
You can't even knock them for that.
I wonder, is the caller still coming in? Big D?
We're waiting here.
Is she coming? No? Okay.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
So we can probably wrap it.
Okay. Well, as we wrap this show up, I would like to say I hope I didn't inject any new fears into anyone who's listening. I do hope that I've helped you ask yourself some hard questions, do a little bit more research, and then create some more questions for us to talk about in the future.
Same. Because at first it can seem a little bleak, but you have to know it. It's, you can't be ignorant and not know the facts or not know what's going on. And then it comes time and it's like, hey, take the vaccine, and you have no clue what's happening even in your state. So it's good to know the information. Look it up on your own, like you said, so that way you can have your own opinion and do what you feel is right for you. Again, make sure you guys follow us at Talk, at Talk Black Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, and that's all social media platforms. That's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. And yes, please let us know what you think about these vaccines. Let us know what you think about our topics for today. And if you have anything at all that's covering the Black community, let us know what you want us to talk about.
Sure. Yes.
And with that being said, my throat is almost out of there. I was trying to hang on for dear thread. But thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for tuning in to Talk Black Podcast.
Yes, thank you. See you next time.